Hello, it's another Tuesday. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you've all had a great week, and I hope you all have a great week coming up. But just want to remind you to please like and share my videos and subscribe so you can get notified every time I do a video. So if you go into YouTube and you subscribe, then there's a little bell and you hit the bell and you'll just automatically get notified. Today, my video is about how to release anxiety and depression. It's very, very important for you to understand the steps to take on how to release anxiety and depression. You can do this without medication, and that is extremely important because I just want to tell you that if you have anxiety and depression and you take medication, it masks the problem. You will feel better, but it won't get rid of it. If you're in a situation where you absolutely need the medicine, then take the medicine or whatever your higher self guides you to do, because ask your higher self first, do I need this anxiety medicine? Do I need this medicine for my depression? If they say no, then don't do it. If they say yes, then take it, but follow the steps that I'm going to give you to do it on your own. And then you can check back with your higher self. Can I now get rid of my anxiety or depression medicine? And just do it like that. So I will remind you again how important it is to have a relationship with your higher self. Now, I got a poem, a message that I'm going to read first before I go on with the rest of my video. And the poem is titled Divine Timing. So this is what's going to come after all of this passes. Anyway, when you look past the drama, the negative news, the elections too, Earth opens up to a heavenly view. It all depends on the focus you use. It's hard to see positives when we drown ourselves in negatives. No matter how anything appears, you must know it's an illusion which pumps up your fears. Sit down in silence, release your pain by crying it out. Begin again, filling yourself with love and light, breathing it in. Do not fight. I am the love, I am the light, lifts you out of that negative flight, opens your mind to other possibilities, helps you be aware of beauty to see. Pink clouds, pink trees, birds flying in perfect harmony, singing their songs of love. It's all around you. Now look above. Colorful sunsets adorn beautiful sunrises forevermore. Elementals bringing you joy. Unconditional love of all is in store. When a wave of light envelopes you, brings you out of your blues, awakens you to a love so true, for all on earth to be. Awaken to love with us all, seeing and feeling life differently. In the meantime, just flow, even though you don't know. Trust in our universe, all will be. No one knows when exactly, but will all unfold in divine timing. So I'd mentioned this before, a wave is going to come over the planet, a light, and it is going to bring you to 100% the most powerful, pure love energy, where every single solitary person on this planet is going to feel that love so much so that all memories of the negative past will disappear. And all anger and sadness will be gone because you will be all about love. And I know this because I dreamt it, but I also have experienced it now twice. I was given this love energy in 2011, and I was just sitting on my patio, minding my own business, looking outside because I was high up, so I had a view. And bam, all of a sudden this wave came over me. And I can't even explain how intense it was, but it was amazing, and I did not want it to leave, but it only lasted, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I'm sure it wasn't 10. And then it was gone, and I was like, please come back, And then I got it again about 2 or 3 months ago. So I know it's going to happen. But in the meantime, the point of my poem is it's called Divine Timing. Is it going to happen tomorrow? Is it going to happen in 2020? Who knows? It might not happen until 2021. It might not happen until 5, 6, 7 years from now. We don't know. So in the meantime, we don't sit around and wait for it or have an expectation from what other people have posted time frames, which nobody on this planet can give you a time frame of anything. And I've said this even last week. Time does not exist except the present moment. So does anyone know what's going to happen in the present moment? No. Did I know that I was going to be hit by a love wave after I was just sitting on the patio? No, it just happens. So you don't search for it, you don't look for it, you don't worry about that. What you do is you focus on yourself, your emotional body. What creates depression in you? What triggered your anxiety? And I'm going to tell you right now, 100% it is a thought. It could be a word that anchored you to something that's buried in your body. Now, if you don't understand an anchor, you'll all get this. You know how music is very powerful. Music can uplift you and do all kinds of things for you. But let's just say, way back in the past or sometime in your life, you related a song to a relationship or somebody that you were madly in love with. You might have been 14 or 15 or whatever. It doesn't matter. And then 10 years later, you hear that song and all of a sudden, you're right back to that time frame when you were in love with Sally or Johnny. And you feel those emotions. Those are anchors. That song anchored you back to a time of your life that you felt that emotion. Now there's anchors that will bring you back to negative programming that we received before we came here, or when you were in your mother's womb, or right after birth, that you're not even aware of. You see, there's so many things that create it because reminding you again, nothing in our world is positive. It can be positive, only you can do it. You are in control of it, only you can bring it to you. This is why it's important to stay away from negative people. Because we're all energy. You think about a person, you wake up and you're completely happy, and then you thought about one of your friends, and then all of a sudden you got depressed. And then you've got to stop and go, okay, I checked myself, because you've got to check yourself every morning on how you feel. And I checked myself and I was fine. So whose energy did I just pick up? So figure it out. Oh, I just thought of Johnny, and Johnny must be depressed. So I'm going to get my selenite wand, and I'm going to brush. Well, you could do that, but you could also ask your higher self, did this emotion come from thinking about Johnny, Sally, whatever? And you get a yes. And then you brush it off with your selenite wand, your whole body from head to toe. And then you take deep breaths in your nose, hold it, blow it out. Whenever you feel anxiety or depressed, that's number one. And I am the love, I am the light, I am. I am the love, I am the light, I am. And you breathe that in, and all of a sudden your whole body starts to feel this intense love energy. And then you're back to being happy and positive. And this is what you need to do. You need to only be concerned with yourself. You are the only person that's important. And this is important for your growth, for your health, and for illnesses. Because illnesses are trapped emotions in our body. Some things trigger them. Now, other things come from past lives that you don't know about. I just happened to know or find out when I had an astrology report done way back in the 80s that my liver is prone to issues, and it's now showing up in all kinds of things. But I personally have a medical intuitive that I see, and trust me, no doctor told me this. I got it from this medical intuitive. So anyway, I'm going to share with you, because they want me to, what happened to me yesterday. And what happened to me all day yesterday and this morning. Because I share this stuff with you. I teach this stuff to you, but it doesn't mean that I don't experience this still. Because there are emotions that are trapped in my body that I know about, but I didn't realize I didn't even release them. So, just quickly, I had an issue with, okay, this is even more interesting. I've had an issue with weight gain. Now, I went vegan, and all I did was gain weight. My stomach even bloated more, and it didn't make any sense to me. And, I've gone to doctors before about these issues, and they say, what do? They give you blood tests, everything's fine, you're fine. And if they can't find out what's wrong with you, then you're crazy, and you got to go see a shrink. Now, with my issues, doctors run these tests, and they always refer me to a shrink and tell me that I'm crazy. Because I don't have things that they're trained to take care of. They're not trained to know how to find really what's wrong with you, because if they were, they would cure you. They would cure you instead of masking your issues with pharmaceuticals. So anyway, I went to my medical intuitive again. Now, I don't know if you always watch my videos about, 4 or 5 months ago, I thought I had a bug bite. And this is really interesting if you remember that, because my ankle was swollen. And I went to the doctor. They didn't know what it was. And then they were, this doctor of mine tried to get like 6 or 7 different doctors, like dermatologists and I can't even remember, all these different types of doctors to look at my leg to figure out what the heck was going on with me. And they all were saying, open it up. It's probably full of fluid and it's going to drain. And I swore it was a bug bite. But my doctor, thank God, was intuitive. And I mean, the nurse told me when I came back, like he couldn't even sleep at night. All he did was think about my foot. So he was really, wanted to take care of it, which is a positive thing. And he came up with a diagnosis called erythemia nodosum. Like, what the hell's that, right? Well, come to find out, it was inflamed fat cells in my body. Now, who's ever heard of inflamed fat cells? And this is going to lead into my appointment that I just had. So here I have these inflamed fat cells, right? And God only knows what that is. And they're trying to give me all these pharmaceuticals and stuff. And I took them, and all they did was create more problems in my body. So I went to my medical intuitive, and I took the pharmaceuticals and I threw them in the trash. And he just started telling me that my body was toxic. And because I've seen him so many times before, you got to get rid of one layer of stuff before he can find out other things. So he didn't know what that was, but he did know that my liver was all screwed up, and and that my body was full of toxins. So he gave me stuff to get rid of the toxin and to take care of my liver. And he goes, once that gets resolved, your leg will start to heal, because it's not going to heal. And that took over a month. Now, the swelling and everything else has gone away, but I still have a red mark there, whatever. So anyway, then I was still having this weight gain. So I asked my higher self, will my medical intuitive help me figure out what's going on with my weight? And they said yes. And so I called him up and I made an appointment. And when I saw him, I said, my higher self, well, I didn't tell him that. I told him, my guides told me that you're going to help me with my weight gain. So he told me that I had this metabolic imbalance, and that every single thing that I ate, no matter what it was, just went straight to my body and stored as fat. So it didn't matter what I ate. So, I was so upset because I'm thinking I'm eating healthy and I'm still gaining weight. Well, isn't it interesting that I had inflamed fat cells from probably an overabundance of fat in my body? But the doctors don't make that connection. Do you know what I'm saying? And so now he's found out that I have this inflammation that's not a good inflammation. He said it's not good. And that I should really watch sugar, because also that sugar is not good for me. And my guides, tell me what to eat every day. And the day before I went to see him, they told me to have lentil soup for dinner. Now, there's a reason for all of this, because this all connects with your higher self and how you're guided and everything. So now I'm at the doctor, and he's intuitive, and his guides told him to ask me what did I eat for dinner the night before. And so I told him I ate lentils soup, and he goes, oh, you have an allergy to lentils, don't eat that. Well, who would know? I mean, I have situations where my stomach bloats up a lot, certain things that I eat, and who knows what it is that I ate this time that created me bloating. So now I find out I can't have lentils, and I have to watch my sugar intake. So fine. So he puts me on the meds. And remember, these meds are not lab crap. They're high-powered herbs, fruits, and all that kind of stuff. And it's not cheap. And I got to take a hell of a lot of it. Probably going to last me 4 months of taking this stuff. But in any case, I've been doing it for 2 weeks and I'm starting to lose weight. All of a sudden, finally, I'm losing weight. But my body, still certain days, I get this bloating. So he had told me to come back 2 weeks. Trust me, this is leading to all of this. Bear with me. I went back to him yesterday. Yesterday, he said, oh, your stomach is all inflamed again. Now, the night before, again, before my appointment, my higher self told me to eat a baked potato. And because it was the day before my appointment. So again, he said, what did you eat last night? And I said, a baked potato. And he goes, oh no, you can't eat baked potatoes. You can't eat any potatoes. You can eat sweet potatoes, but you can't eat potatoes because they're full of sugar. And sugar is bad for your body. You're prone to getting diabetes. Something else. It's just, dementia. And I'm like, oh my God. Well, when he said that word dementia, I just totally was upset. Now, I'm thinking like, why the hell would I get that? So I'll continue that for a second. So then I'm like, well, I'm vegan. I can't eat lentils. I can't eat potatoes. What about carrots? No, I can't eat carrots. So you see, I have to really and truly watch my sugar intake. So what did I eat before I showed up that day also was a banana. Bananas are full of sugar too. So, we read things about what we should eat. And who the hell knows what's best for your own body? Millions of people eat potatoes and sugar and it's not going to bother them. And then you're going to run across someone like me, or maybe all these people who have diabetes and have all these other issues that they don't even know that a carrot, something that's supposedly so healthy, or a potato, other than we already know ice cream is full of sugar and candy is full of sugar and all that kind of stuff. But there's supposedly healthy foods that are full of sugar too. So you've got to be aware of your body. So what happened? I was extremely depressed. I was depressed because of dementia, but it's going to lead me back to a program that I picked up when I was a child. Now, my girlfriend does emotional codes. And so she's been helping me with finding out how you find things that are trapped in your body. So I talked to her and she was telling me, how to do this. So now let's get back to this. What was the thought that created my anxiety and my depression? Because that's why I'm telling you from the beginning, it's a thought that activates your anxiety and your depression. So what was the thought? The thought that started all of this from yesterday was, no matter what I do, no matter how good I am, no matter how hard I follow and trust things, I still get bad things from it. And it's just not fair. And my anxiety and depression, and I don't normally have this, was so intense yesterday. And, so all day yesterday, I'm fighting it and breathing and brushing myself off with selenite till I finally released it. Then this morning, I woke up depressed and found out again that something came and over, but also realized, because I'd text my girlfriend and I wanted to do that first before I do my video, and she'd given me a chart to look at. So this is what happened. I found out that what was still buried in my body was the fact that I can't do anything right. Now, my mom even told me it was rejection, and it was rejection and anger. So anger and rejection has been trapped in my body. That's created all these issues. So she told me how to release it. But the point is my mom told me, like, when I was a teenager, when I got pregnant with you, I was angry. I'm carrying her anger in my body. Her anger I carry. Didn't even come from me, came from her. Because she told me she was so angry when she got pregnant with me because she had just had my sister. And 3 months after she gave birth to my sister, she got pregnant with me. And she told me that she tried to get rid of me. I didn't realize that was anger that was trapped in my body that I needed to release. So are you following me? All of these things create this stuff. So anyway, then she said after I was born, she rejected me. That was my other issue. Now, I asked my higher self about the anger. Did the anger come before I was born? It was no, and it came from the womb. Well, bingo, when I was in my mom's womb, she was angry that she was pregnant. So she passed her anger on to me. Then when I was born, I wasn't a boy because she already had 2 girls. Then she said the least that you could have been was a boy. And not only were you not a boy, but you look like your father. Well, at the time, I didn't realize she hated my father. So now I'd ask my higher self where rejection came from. Was it a past life? It was no. Was it when I was in my womb? It was no. And was it at birth? And it was yes. How does this make sense? She told me she rejected me at birth. She said, I threw you in a corner, like in some chair, put a bottle, gave you a bottle and let you feed yourself, because I wasn't going to feed you. And she said it was a good thing that you were a good baby because you could feed yourself. So you see, here at birth, from being in her womb, I picked up her anger and then rejection. I picked the rejection up from her. And I hate to tell you, my whole life I've felt rejected. Rejected, being a starseed, being different, being an outcast, always being rejected. And where did that rejection really come from? The sadness, the sorrow, the depression, the anxiety was from my mother. So now, I'm not telling you this to get you to be mad or angry at people or situations. It's about understanding that your anxiety and your depression comes from thoughts. You've got to find the thought. You can find your thought by yourself, and then you can say, where does this feeling come from? And then you've got to release it. Now, this morning I woke up and I couldn't stop crying. And cry, but crying is releasing. And so then after I was crying and got rid of it and I did I'm the light, I'm the love and all that and got myself back up, I asked my higher self, did I release rejection? And they said no. So write this down. I've got to find it because this is what she had texted me This is what I did. So bear with me here. Let's see. Oh my God, I can't find it. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So you hold the intention and say you're releasing it and everything that it's attached to in your body and across all timelines, space, densities, realities, and dimensions. So I take the rejection and I took a magnet and I put it up the meridian up here and up to my head and over the back and said, I'm releasing rejection that's attached to my body from all timelines, all space, all density, all realities and dimensions. And I did that 3 times. And then I asked my higher self again, have I released rejection? And it said yes. These are the things you need to do for yourself. So I hope you waited for that information because that was important to help you because we're all in this together. And it's all about being aware of what creates things. And hopefully this is why I feel that my information is so important because I experience it. I share it with you to show you how you can help yourself. Now, when I do these things, if you decide to follow it, then please notice how it changed and realize that it changed because you need to now be aware that it changed so you can continue on with it. Otherwise, you'll forget about it. It's the same thing when you go to work and you have these issues and you say, dear angels, please keep me from hearing or seeing anything negative today. And then you walk in before you open the door to your job, you say it again because the last 3 days has been terrible. Now you do this, that day everything's great. You've got to realize and acknowledge that it helped you and thank you, angels, for helping me not having to deal with other people's issues. Because if you don't, you're not going to make the changes that you need to make. Because this is all about you learning how to change yourself to live a better life. To learn that other people don't do anything to you. Now, yes, my mother did this to me, but whatever. I mean, I'm not going to blame her for it because she had her issues. I know how to get rid of it. Isn't that all that matters? Other things that my parents did, which I've talked before, are lessons that I chose to learn. So everything comes from you, is created by you, and only you can change it. So taking pills does not get rid of some of these things. Now, of course, you might need certain things. I'm not going to get into that because this isn't about medicine and doctors and pharmaceuticals, okay? This is about things that you can do to heal yourself. And it's so important for you to do this. But all I can do is lead you on the path, but I can't make you do it. You have the power, you with your higher self, to heal your body. And Why is this important? Other than the fact that you want to feel good, that you want to be happy, that you want to have a higher vibration to manifest, to see the beauty in the life until this wave comes, until we ascend. You don't want to sit back with issues and with problems and with stress related things and with anxiety and all of that stuff. And you don't want to hurt your body and come away with all these medical issues that we have. So the old saying, food heals you, food poisons you. So for me, I just found out yesterday, potatoes, carrots, and bananas. What do I eat every day? Potatoes, carrots, and bananas. So I take the stuff, and it doesn't help me because I'm doing other things that still keep inflammation in my body. Are you following me? So it's so important to understand all of this. So if you don't have a medical intuitive or a medical medium, there is a medical medium on Facebook, or he has a book. Buy his book. Find out what your issues is, and he'll tell you what they are and what foods you shouldn't eat and what foods will heal it. And all it's going to cost you is time to read the book and the money that it takes to buy the book, maybe $15. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's all about you, because eventually no one's going to be dealing with this, because we are so powerful. We have changed the vibration of this planet. We have brought the light. So many people are awakening. It is such a positive thing. And ascension is going to happen a lot sooner than they thought it would. And because we're all doing such a great job. But in the meantime, there's a ton of people still who are not awake, who are depressed, who are still full of anxiety, who still get triggered. And these are the things that you do. Check yourself first every morning. And during the day, there was a day that I went bike riding and I was happy and joyful, and all of a sudden I got depressed because somebody that I passed was depressed, and they gave me their depression, a person I didn't even know. So be aware of energy. And I don't always remember, but it's important to get a crystal, a selenite crystal, and black obsidian or tourmaline, and wear it in your pocket, and it'll ward off negative energies that you're not even aware of that are out in the planet. So, this is my message for the day, for the week, for your life, is to help you heal yourself, to help you be more aware of your surroundings, to let you know that self-love too is so important. And because when you love yourself 100% unconditionally, then you can only attract loving people to you, and all these negative people will stay away from you. They won't feel comfortable around you because your vibration will increase. Your frequency will be higher, and they won't want to be around you because they don't feel comfortable. And also, if you have negative friends, negative family, but yet you feel guilty about telling or not seeing these people anymore, then when you love yourself, you won't feel guilty, because who's more important, them or you? When you put other people in front of you, then you're telling yourself that they're more important than you are. So when you know people that go out of their way to always be available to you, and they seem so nice, these people are struggling. They don't love themselves. They're putting everybody in front of themselves. And, if it's a dear relative or a friend, you ought to tell them that. It's important, too, to speak your truth. And if people don't like it, it's not your problem. It's their problem. I speak my truth a lot on Facebook, and people delete me and block me a lot because they don't want to hear the truth. Is it because I'm a bad person? No. They're not ready. Are they bad? No. They're just not ready. You can't make people awaken. You can't help people who don't want to help themselves first. So that's the other thing. So anyway, release anxiety by understanding that anxiety and depression comes from a thought. Find the thought. Figure it out. Work it out. Give yourself time to heal yourself. I don't care if you have a family, if you have children, you go to work, you will find the time if you want to release this. Because just know that, it might be easier just take a pill and forget about it. You haven't done anything good for yourself. And it will slap you back in the face eventually. So, I hope you all have a great Christmas. Christmas is next week. At this particular time, I don't know when I return. I should be able to do a video unless it's New Year's Day. I really don't know. It might be a week. It might be 2. But if it's 2 weeks, I will definitely be back the week after. I'm not just giving up on my channel, and I'm not giving up on you. So, have a blessed day, and please subscribe, and please share my videos to all of those that have issues and are open to receive and want to help them, and they want to help themselves. They might ask you how to get rid of it. Give them my video and let them make the decision whether or not they want to listen to me or not. Thank you again. Bye.